the way, what I've just described is what happens if you are a scientist and you step out of the orthodoxy. Exactly the same, because it's a religion. What happens if you're one of the human-caused climate changers and you stop and you're within a group and they go and you go, do you think that maybe we should be asking more questions? I mean, some of the things these people that are saying it's human-caused climate change is not real, it might have a point, at least here and there. What do you think? Ooh, you're a blasphemer. That's how it works. And so what you have is all these rigid belief systems which think that they're at odds with other belief systems, and in rhetoric and detail they may be, but they're all the same mentality. And what I've been doing for the last 36 years is saying, hey, I'm going to let information and evidence be my guide. One of the funny things, I think I would find it funny, I think I have really, largely, of my life in the last 36 years has been to attract abuse and ridicule from all, quote, sides. From the left, from the right, from the center, all political shades, orthodox science, another religion, all the different religions, what my father used to call the bricks and mortar religions, all have had the same reaction to my work, pretty much. But that's good, and it's understandable, because what I do in the roadmap is challenge the rigid belief systems of all religions. And, religion, people immediately, understandably, they get a picture immediately. You say religion, they see a church, they see a synagogue, they see a mosque, a temple. People. But religion is a mentality. And that religion mentality plays out right across human society, even among those that call themselves atheists, because that too is a form of religion. It's a form of rigid, unquestioned belief. What is orthodox science? It's a religion. That's why orthodox science throughout scientific history has had to be pulled, kicking and bloody screaming, into the next stage of understanding, if that level of understanding is at odds with their orthodoxy. Because their orthodoxy, their books of scientific orthodoxy, they're their holy books. And their temples and churches are universities, colleges, laboratories. And what is human-caused climate change? It's a belief. It's a religion. Look at it. And like all religions, it's designed to become a prison of the mind. Once you take on a rigid, unyielding belief, you will not go beyond the walls of the belief, because if you do, you're not your belief anymore. You start asking questions. My goodness me, I do in the book, big time, about Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, all of them. And suddenly, you're not a Christian, you're not a Muslim, you're not a this, you're not a that. Oh, no, sorry, I am. I'm sorry, I'll stop questioning. Here I am. I'm back in the belief, I'm back in the fold. Well, my not preconceived idea and preconceived unyielding belief. And when you do that, we call it an open mind. You go, whoa, the world looks so different now. Yeah, because you've taken the bloody blinkers of belief off. And so why wouldn't I unite all these rigid beliefs that in other ways are at war with each other in condemnation of me, dismissal of me? Of course I would. Why wouldn't I? That was the idea. And, well, the roadmap is going to cook their noodle. Humans are controlled, if you break it down to its foundation, they are controlled by their perception. So, why do we behave as we do in all the different forms you see? Because we perceive as we do. Behavior comes from perception. Someone has this perception, someone has that perception. They behave differently. Well, in detail, if not foundation. And so, if you're a few, my God, it is a few compared with the global population, and you want to control the many, the one thing you must do, because there's not enough of you, you take the people in full knowledge who are driving this global cult dystopia on behalf of their other dimensional masters. You add to them all the people in uniform in law enforcement and military. You add all the government administrators that carry out the will of the few, on, and you're still collectively looking at a fraction of the global population. You can control people through law enforcement, military, whatever, in a certain area, but you can't do it globally if the population says, we're not cooperating. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. The few have no power when the many says or say, up yours, darling, not doing it. So what you have to do to overcome that is to control the perceptions of the population. Now, you don't want everyone believing absolutely everything the same until you've got an AI control connection, and then you can do that. Why they want to do it. But in the the meantime, you want people to have different beliefs, different perceptions, because then you can play them off against each other in divide and rule. But overwhelmingly, you want them within certain tramlines of perceptual belief, what I call the postage stamp consensus, tiny. And then, if you've got control of their perception, you've got control of their behavior, you got them. And this is what censorship is about. It's about censoring information. Take COVID, classic. Censoring information that would give people a different way of looking at a situation or the world, and make sure that people overwhelmingly never hear it. I'm still being stopped in the street by people thanking me for exposing the vaccine because it stopped them having it, and now they realize the consequences of having it for so many people that they know and read about. Why did they censor information across the internet that was exposing the fake jab and exposing the hoax? Because then they would have control of the information that people received. They would have control of their behavior. Oh, I better get the jab because it's a deadly virus. So, what I've been doing all these bloody years is communicating information that the system doesn't want you to know, because it has the potential, big time, of allowing people to see there are other ways of explaining the world that make far more sense than the ones we are being officially given. And there will be, I would say, enormous numbers of people who read this book, The Roadmap, and will never, ever be the same again, because their perception of self-identity, reality, the world, will be transformed by the information they'll be reading. And you know, one of the greatest forms of mind control is control of the sense of the possible. So we have two worlds in one world. There's the world of the global cult, as I call it, this network of global secret societies with an interlocking mission control leadership. And passed on through that, through the inner circles of that cult, is of course, the agenda for humanity to ever greater dystopia, but also the nature of reality itself. In other words, what's really possible. What's really possible on many levels, not least technologically possible. Now, this global cult, its inner circle, has created the means of communication for the population it's targeting. It's behind what we call the education system, which is nothing more than a programming system, like the Rockefellers in America behind the American, quote, education programming system. And a Rockefeller gopher, Bill Gates, is very much involved in that to this day. They own the global media. They have moved in and targeted and hijacked great chunks of the promoted level, algorithmically promoted level of the alternative media. So you've got the same group that has passed on advanced information and hoards it, that has also created the means of communication among the general population, its target population, to make sure they stay in ignorance of what they know. And what I've been doing for 36 years now is uncovering what they know and passing it to people and saying, this is reality. This is how they're manipulating reality. This is how they're manipulating you to the end that this has long pursued. And it's funny because if you can control the sense of the possible of the population, when people like me come along and say, actually, this is what they're doing, and this is how, vast numbers of the population, with their coldly calculated limitation of sense of the possible, they go, you're mad, you are, that's not possible. Oh, it is, and they know it. What do they know? The roadmap, escaping the maze of madness.
I get why most people are scared of challenging the narrative, speaking their truth, delving deeper into the information field. Because what we're up against, heartless, scary, non-sympathetic, evil psychopaths. That's what we're up against, people, because I still cannot wrap my head around this thing. And I'm so happy David touched on it, people. They banned this man from COVID, reinstall him back with all those videos. Because I went and checked, people, all those COVID videos where David is calling out the COVID operation, if you want to have a better word. And they're back up on YouTube. So what does this mean? What's going on here? What's going on here? Who's gonna bear the consequences for this? Who's gonna bear the, some people in power should be bearing some consequences, people, because there's no way you're gonna ban that guy for so long. 2020 and now in 16 years? Hold on. I'm checking wrong. No, sorry. 2010, sorry. Hold on. I'm checking wrong, people. 2020, almost 10 years, sorry. What doing? 25, 20? People, I'm confused. The dog is making a lot of noise, but hey, I still gotta get through this, people. Still gotta get through this. 2025. 5 years. Then all the videos are restored, everything, so what? What? And all those people who end up underneath the earth because they didn't have access to what? Some valuable information, some life-saving information provided by yours truly, Mr. Hype People. And it just goes to show what we're up against, as I say in the beginning. Some evil forces. Evil. Non-human. Reptilian. It's real, people. It's real. It's believable. I'm not a believer. I believe God. Or faith and all those mythical things. But This reptilian thing, it's real, people. It's real. Because who could allow these things to happen? What we see happening in the world. We all see him. Let's even touch this Melissa hurricane that hit Jamaica, people. We all see that was a remote control activities happening in the ocean and seeing whatsoever they want to call it, Seeker, Atlantic, I don't call, hey, people, we all see that. We all see that. Sharp turn, left turn, everybody flocking. We see everything, people. We see the whole show. What's going on in Jamaica right now? The politicians allowing people to literally go extinct in certain parts, people in Jamaica. All they're doing, walking around taking pictures, say they're assessing. Assessing what? What are you doing? I don't see a politician move one zinc or one ruble off someone. I don't see it. Pictures taken. Talk. People hungry. People starving. People complaining about bodies stinking, rotting, decomposing. Hey, it's crazy, people. But we know the force we're up against. So it's no surprise. And that's why we have to keep so firm. We have to keep the charge going. To wake as many people as we can, because that's just it, people. That's just it. That's the only thing we can do. People have the solution. Wake as much people as you can. Get as much like-minded people around you as possible. That's the only solution. That's the motive. That's the objective, people. Get as much people as possible on the same wavelength. Build a strong bond, unity, community, village, network. Right now, people who are stranded as we speak in St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, as we're here free, living our life and enjoying ourselves. People are stranded. Can't get access to food, water, nothing. It can happen to anywhere, any one of us, in a blink of an. Hey, one manipulated condition, one. It's not even funny, me not laugh, people. One manipulated system, and that's it. That's it. So we have to bond together. We have to lean on each other, stand for each other, and rise above this evil force we're up against, people. Evil at its purest level, pure evil. Who's gonna pay the consequences? That's my question. Love, strength, power, unity.